What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Luciano, and if you're into photography, videography, behind the scenes, gear reviews, all that good stuff, feel free to hit the subscribe button below. I post weekly, check it out, you know, follow me. I love this stuff. Before we get started, I just want to say that I'm super excited because we reached over 500 subscribers. We're almost at 550, that's almost 600, that's almost 1200, that's almost like 1 million. Maybe. I could dream it, can I? So I did release a new video. I'm gonna put it in the card section above. And I was at Photo Plus last week and it was awesome. New York City, fun times. Got a chance to hang out with a ton of creators. Got a chance to interview a bunch of creators, which was really awesome. It was like my first time doing something like that. So yeah, it was a good experience and I'm actually looking forward to doing more of those. In this video, I wanna recap my interview with Manny Ortiz. If you don't know who Manny Ortiz is, you have to follow him. He's a dope content creator. I got a chance to interview him, hang out with him at a deli and kind of just have like a one-on-one with him and kind of talk about a little bit about work-life balance and how he started and all that stuff. It was really cool just to be able to learn from him within those few minutes. And yeah, so I mean, let's just check out the video. Boom, so we are actually at a local place and we got some food with Manny. If you don't know who he is, I'm gonna give him a few minutes to kind of like tell you about what he does and all that stuff. And yeah, thanks for coming out and hanging out with us and taking the time out to answer a few questions.
I'll do anything for my chulo squad.
Oh, the chulo squad. You know, if you don't mind, give a little brief about like, you know, what you do, all that stuff, and how you started.
Yeah, so you know, I started off photography as a hobby. Dogs are barking in the background. Don't mind that. But you know, I started a YouTube channel, and things just got kind of serious. You know, 0 to 100. I mean, really quick, and all of a sudden, I started creating YouTube content. It started sticking. People started enjoying it, so I just kept doing it, and now we're here.
Yeah,
now we're here.
Nah, I think we've been, me and a couple of the friends have been following you like already like for a couple years already, yeah. And seeing the growth has been like really awesome to see, especially what like, you know, coming from Chicago and you're doing a full day, like your full work day, like you have your day job and then also doing YouTube and seeing that grind that you're doing. I think that's awesome. And also even collaborating with your wife, I think those videos are like hilarious as well. But you do bring a lot of value to those videos, and I think that's really cool to have a support system like your wife.
Huge support system.
So if you had like 2 tips to give to someone who's starting off in YouTube or wanting to start off in photography in general, what would be those 2 tips?
You're talking about as a content creator.
As a content creator, yeah.
I think being a perfectionist is probably don't be a perfectionist is my #1 tip, because I think that people are just so self-conscious of themselves on camera. You tend to want to be perfect, just like all the big creators. It's not going to happen. You have to understand that you're not going to make amazing content right away, but it's very important to create content in the beginning and not, you know, it's not going to be great, but you have to get started somewhere. And because being a perfectionist will stop you from creating content. That's what I have seen from a lot of people. So don't be a perfectionist and get your message across, and your video doesn't have to be the greatest quality ever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that would be tip #1. And tip #2 would be that I would say, and this is weird for me to say this because people would be like, oh, no, I think you're not telling the truth here, but don't worry about your subscriber count, because when people are watching, the people that are watching a video, you can be spreading a message to them that does change their life or does make an impact in their life, depending on the content that you do. And you know, you never know when you're gonna hit that one video, that one video that's gonna just take off. And if you stop creating, you're never gonna know what video that was. You know what I mean? So like me, I was a small creator too. You hit that one video that kind of struck a nerve with people, and then people stuck around to see what I was doing, and then they stuck with me. They followed my journey. So don't worry about subscribers. Spread a message that can resonate with people, and that's the most important thing.
I think that's awesome. I think one important thing that I definitely want to ask you, because obviously speaking to you before, meeting up before, and talking about like the support system in family, you know, like obviously YouTube can take a lot of time within like family, like separated from family, working on content, and we're doing that whole work-life balance thing. What's a actual tip for those that, you know, maybe are already on the grind, already doing YouTube, and they're starting to notice like this kind of like separation between family, maybe causing a little bit of friction, and like how to handle that? So that to me, even being married and having now 2 girls, it's like finding that balance is important.
So the funny thing is, I've been doing this for about 1.5 years, and I still haven't found that perfect balance. I think that it's so hard to find a perfect balance as an entrepreneur, as a creative, when your mind's always running, and it's like, wait, you need to slow it. You need to know when to turn off. You know?
Yeah.
Like I talked about in my other video, you got to turn that off, and you got to become the husband, the person that they married. You got to focus on them and show them that you're still prioritizing them. Yeah. It's still something I'm trying to perfect. Yeah. It's not an easy thing. So if you're having trouble with that, it's natural. Yeah. But you have to understand that, you know, don't let this get in the way of your marriage or your family, your kids. You know what I mean? You have to find a balance, and you just have to separate it. You have to divide it. Creative time, family time.
It's like that thing, that saying where it's like, you know, when you're coming home from work, don't let the problems from work go into the house. And the thing is, like, a lot of the majority of the times that we're working inside the house, right? So it's like figuring out, like, you probably will never figure it out. I think there's no perfect formula for it. And I think it all depends on, obviously, the family as well, and the dynamic within the family. And it's always a constant learning process, like from like husband and wife, kids, and all that stuff. So I think it's really cool that you're being honest with it. I think some people will try to bring this whole, like, you know, this is what it is and this is how you do it, when it's really not. Like, it works differently for everybody. Yeah. So yeah, that was very sentimental. What you guys think about that? I was like, I almost cried. Okay, so you saw the video, and I think he hit some really cool points here, especially with the work and life balance situation. I think everyone who jumps into YouTube, they assume that it's going to be pie in the sky, it's going to be super easy, and it's not. It's quite hard. It's actually very strenuous, and you have to pretty much find a balance with, one, the time management and creating the videos. I have to always keep in mind that I need to be able to structure the way I'm going to do the videos and when I'm going to release them. Also the family time and all that stuff, because that's super important. A lot of people who jump into YouTube go all in, and that's awesome. I'm all in, but you have to remember that there's a balance as well. You don't want to burn yourself out to a point where you feel like, oh, this is a job, I don't want to do this anymore. And also, you don't want to burden your family as well, where you can easily get distracted with YouTube. So being able to find that balance between the two, and also having your family support you, is super important. And I believe all that comes into play when creating content and trying to build something. So hope you liked that little quick interview. We were pretty much hanging out, eating, and casually talking. And those are the kind of interviews I like. Don't like the whole setup, like with lighting. Those are cool. Don't get it twisted. Those are cool. But it was just awesome just to be able to casually talk with him and kind of get like an insight of what he's thinking, what his views are. Big shout out to Manny Ortiz for giving me the opportunity to be able to interview him. And yeah, looking forward to other videos. Hey, you never know. Might end up in Chicago sometime. We don't know. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. Stay fresh. Keep being awesome. Always creating. Peace.